Remembrance Sunday. A nation reflects on service, on sacrifice, in silence. Silence, though, in politics, in the media, never lasts very long. Earlier in the day, the head of the armed forces was asked about Jeremy Corbyn's stated objection to ever using a nuclear weapon.
It would worry me if that thought was translated into power, as it were, because...
So if he wins, he's a problem?
Well, there's a couple of hurdles to cross before we get to that. But the reason I say this, and it's not based on a personal thing at all, it's purely based on the credibility of deterrence. The whole thing about deterrence rests on the credibility of its use.
After the cenotaph, the leader of the opposition attended his local Remembrance Sunday event. We asked him about General Houghton's concerns.
Do you understand why he might be worried?
I would gently say to him, with the greatest of respect, that we live in a democracy where politicians are elected to parliaments in order to take political decisions. The armed forces obviously must advise, obviously must put their point of view, obviously have a great deal of access to the Secretary of State for Defence, the Prime Minister, and of course every other MP and opposition members. I do not think it's helpful if they start making political comments of a partisan and party political nature.
Should he be worried?
If he's worried, I think he should talk to me about it. I don't think it is appropriate for serving officers to make political comments or engage in political debate.
In fairness to General Houghton, his comments were perhaps more nuanced. In fairness to Jeremy Corbyn, senior military personnel rowing into public debate like this can be fraught. It might have ended there for the leader of the opposition, except for the fact that earlier his pro-Trident Shadow Defence Secretary had sided with the General.
He clearly does believe that deterrence works. He said that in terms. So do I, as it happens. And I don't think there's anything wrong with him expressing himself in those terms.
And then there was more. 2 months into the job now, how many times have Maria Eagle and Jeremy Corbyn met to discuss Trident?
I have a meeting in the diary, but I haven't met him yet to discuss that aspect of our review.
Are you surprised by that?
Well, I'm not. I'm pretty relaxed about it. We are in opposition for 5 years. This has got to be a serious, meaningful review.
The day started with the usual anti-Corbyn suspects latching on to what they considered a half-hearted bow at Whitehall. It's ended with a much bigger problem for Labour. If defence was their Achilles heel, critics will today trumpet full Greek tragedy.